This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, it's all Iron Man suits and dinosaurs as we review the Ironheart finale on Disney Plus and Jurassic World Rebirth, all in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Monday, July 7th, 2025.
Oh, hi, I didn't hear you come in. This is Ross Marquand from The Walking Dead, and you're listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. Now, if somebody could please explain to me what a geek boner is, my life would be complete. Until then, rock on, nation.
Check. Check one. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up. Jock it, we heard it. We funny, disturb it. We jock it, we heard it. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah!
Hey, what's up, listener? Thank you for pressing play and welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
And joining us, this fella built his own Iron Man suit in the alley behind the sandwich shop. It runs on the power of flatulence. He goes by Ironheart, but you can call him Rug Boy. What's up, Rugs? Welcome back.
Yeah, I made it out of cans of beans.
Cans of beans, some Italian loaf bread, a little pastrami in there.
Some chili.
And then it's great because when you get upgrades, you can become Ironheart. It's a little bit more powerful. Go from, yes. The Ironheart is the next evolution of Ironheart. Coming to your local comic book store. Late, never. Welcome back, Rugs. We missed you.
Oh, yeah. What was the excuse that you gave me for not being here?
You were busted for selling black market cotton on the deep web to other felties.
All right. That's a good guess. Wow.
And did a little time, maybe. Did a little.
How do you find this out? Do you get an update? I didn't tell you this.
Little birdie told me. I thought it was suspicious. You had to go away. And then I got a heads up of what was happening.
He had his head to the pavement.
Yes. I got my sources.
Damn, like how someone's fucking giving up all the info on me here.
I felt he's got to make some money. You got to sell the raw, uncut, pure cotton on the street, you know.
Sure.
Well, look, welcome back, and now we're gonna lose you because we got a couple of reviews here.
What are you gonna review here, Andrew?
We're going to start with Ironheart, the finale, because we talked about the first 3 episodes last week. You did not watch. It's fine.
Did you watch any of it?
No.
Okay, good.
Just like if there was like the world of comic books, I would probably not read this comic. So why would I watch a show about it?
Fair.
Yeah, I wouldn't read the comic book, so I'm not going to watch a show about it.
Fair enough. You sit there. You can ask us questions, but then you will join us when we do the movie review. Second half.
Okay, I brought my good mic for this episode.
Yes.
As Brie Larson says, it's not made for me. So where should I watch?
Jock and Nerd podcast.
It's made for everyone, but that is a good point. And these shows feel like multiple titles on the comic book stand that you're like, you know what? I'm not going to read this one. It's too many things. So we will be discussing the finale, the final 3 episodes of Ironheart. Here's your spoilers.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
But with this, Rugs, this is the conclusion of Phase 5 of the MCU. Now, I don't even know if they're keeping track. Anybody's keeping track of phases anymore, if that's still a thing. But it started, Phase 5 started with Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania and ends with these 6 episodes, their 14th television series on Disney Plus for the MCU. So it's a lot. Also, we mentioned last week, this thing was shot in 2022 and has been sitting around since like 2023. So they had to spit this.
Wow.
Yeah. They needed to dump this somewhere, and they do it in the 2-3 episode dumps. Anthony.
Yes.
Let's start with you. Again, executive produced by Ryan Coogler. They like to put that on posters. Why don't you give us a quick synopsis of these last 3 episodes?
Of these last 3, okay.
Yeah.
So at the end of the 3rd episode, Riri has killed, or not directly killed, but indirectly killed one of the members of the Hood's gang.
Yeah, John.
And she's feeling guilty about it. And the Hood has a vision that tells him that Riri has done it. So now she's stressed, and we know that Riri is being hunted by the Hood. So that's these next few episodes is she's being hunted by the Hood and their gang, and they're playing this cat and mouse game where she knows that they know, but they're not coming out and saying it. And they know that she did it, but they're not directly saying it. So there's that. And then also she is trying to figure out her role in all of what her purpose is and how, what things she needs to lean on her friends and family for and what things she can do on her own. And all of that plays out. And then we also get a big reveal at the end that's been people have been clamoring for this character for quite a while. So we get that as well.
Oh my God. This 3 episodes got so fucking wacky and crazy. They leaned into the magic aspect of things. You have upgrades to both stain, biomesh upgrades, and then a whole new suit infused with magic. You got mentions of Doctor Strange, Caecilius, Dormammu, Kamar-Taj, and then, yes, finally, the debut of a character people have been wanting since WandaVision with an amazing cast. So what did you think of these back 3 overall compared to the first 3 and how this show ended for you?
The back 3 definitely is crazier in terms of really leaning into the Marvel Comics magic aspect of it. I found the last 3 to be, they were okay. They were entertaining at times. Compared to the first 3, about the same. I would say overall, the show was, I would say, at times a little maybe confusing to watch. Yeah. And I had trouble at times understanding Riri's motivations and why I should be even rooting for her. And I think that made the show at sometimes partly not that enjoyable. But I did find it overall entertaining, and there were some side characters, and at time Riri was interesting, and the plot was enough to keep me hooked. I think once it ends, it makes everything make a little bit more sense.
Yes. Yeah.
But I don't know that it was the best, the most enjoyable show to watch during it.
Yeah.
Are we going into... We're spoiling, right?
Well, yeah, I already played spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so I don't know if Rug Boy's even listening, but for the listeners that are listening and haven't watched it yet, it basically, by the end of the show, it turns out that this whole thing was not really a hero's journey, but the downfall almost of Riri Williams, because we learn at the end that the Hood has gotten his powers, this cloak, through Mephisto, played by Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh, amazing.
Who's doing different accents throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
And then once she defeats the Hood, we can talk about those things in a little bit. The Mephisto basically goes, okay, well, now I want to work with you, and I will give you whatever you desire if you work with me.
Yeah.
And she gives into it, and she basically desires to have her best friend Natalie come back in real life, and Mephisto grants her that. But now she's basically done something that she shouldn't have done, and that's how it ends. And it almost is like a tease for another season if it does well.
It's a tease for a bunch of things, but that episode 6 was wild. She essentially makes a deal with the devil,
right,
to bring back Natalie, her friend who died, who was the AI. And it kind of makes sense the whole time. The Natalie AI was a little bit annoying. I enjoyed some of it. When they make that suit and add the magic, she gets deleted. So I really thought the resolution of this and the way she found out that she was actual physical flesh when she hits her on the head was great. It totally fit, right? And so overall, there was so much crazy shit happening in these last 3 episodes. I really felt like I was reading a miniseries comic book. I kind of enjoyed it as a limited series comic. It's a very comic booky in the best way. For them to introduce Mephisto, Sacha Baron Cohen, fucking great. He's perfect in this role. For them to introduce Mephisto and this in Ironheart and involve the magic, I thought they did a good job kind of ingesting the magic. You know, you have that girl Zelma, who's a teenage sorceress and is trained at Kamertage. And she takes them into their little magical dimension, and it gets fucking wild. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck's going on here?
Mhm.
And I thought that was really great. That's a fun character. There's a lot of potential you could set up. So by the end of it, I thought the end was wild, and it really got me. I did not think it was going to go that way. And yeah, you see the black veins growing on her arm as she hugs Natalie. She has made the deal with Mephisto. By the way, he has the best line of the whole series. I'm sure you know which one it is.
Which one's that? I
When
don't remember.
she thinks he's Dormammu, she calls him Dormammu, and he starts laughing.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, Dormammu. He's like, that ugly pillock isn't fit to clean my glorious asshole. I was like, that is an amazing line. I can't believe it was in this show. But I still think the show looks really good. I love all the music. I like the kind of urban feel. I like the fake Chicago. There was the Damon Blue Line. That had to be real. It looked like the fucking Damon Blue Line outside.
Yeah, maybe. That annoyed me that it wasn't actually filmed in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a for me, it's a show that was I did find it entertaining, and the twists at the end were unexpected, and I give them credit because this story isn't really a hero's journey at all. Like I said, it's more of a like her downfall.
She's
like
a
tragedy.
great character, and she's making great moral decisions, really.
Right. I mean, she immediately, this show starts with her being expelled from MIT because she's helping kids cheat on tests to get money. She's joined a criminal gang to get money to fund her suit. She's trying to, because of the thing, she kills someone inadvertently. She's not really like saving people per se. She's just
No.
cleaning up the mess that she's created for herself.
Yeah.
And then at the end, she makes a deal with the devil to bring back a friend, which is pretty selfish, right?
Yeah.
And even in like her subconsciously creating the AI was very selfish of her.
Yeah.
And not shutting that down immediately. So like when you're watching the show in the moment, I'm going, man, this is like, why would I even like this character? She's just so stupid and makes a lot of dumb decisions.
She does.
And then it ends the way it ends, and it kind of makes everything make a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
I just think there are when you're trying to follow a show where it's their downfall, it has to be like a lot more engaging throughout. And you think about shows like Sopranos or Breaking Bad or movies like Goodfellas or Scarface, like things about content about someone's downfall, like those are all entertaining. And the reason why you stick with them is you know they're going to fail. You just don't know how. This one was so ambiguous that it made the show a little bit like confusing to watch.
No, I'll agree. It's muddy. It's a muddy journey at best, and you're not exactly sure
because you're not leaned in right away on like, is she a bad person? You don't. The typical Marvel show is a hero's journey,
right? You're not exactly sure. And a typical Marvel show at the end, when he makes that deal, they would be like, "Fuck you! I'm not doing this. I'm too good."
She'd be like, "Yeah, fuck off."
But she's thinking about it, and she's like, "Well, this is what it takes." And I think she has the hood. So okay, so I'll tell you, there was a moment in these episodes where the show got really good and surprised me, and it was that scene where she's having a panic attack, and Natalie brings Xavier to the junkyard.
Mm-hmm.
And then he meets the Natalie AI, and he is horrified by it. And
as he should be.
Yes, as he should be. It's the first person who's given like an actual real response to this. He's like, "What the fuck? That's my sister. I want you to delete her." That emotion got me. I felt that. I was like, "Holy shit, that was a really good scene." But then they do silly shit. Like she makes this whole fucking suit. The suit looks dope. This red and black suit looks amazing. But somehow they make it in the garage with magic and a car, the red car. And it's a dope suit. But then she does blow. Oh, then let me ask you this. The scene where she's fighting the Hood at the end, right? And he is giving in to the demon energy, and he's turning into a demon more and more. He's ripping the suit apart, and she blows the suit. And then she gets up, and he walks up to her, and he's got her at gunpoint, And then she reveals that whole thing is a hologram and the suit has not blown up and she's behind him in the suit. At what point did the hologram actually start? Can you tell me how that works?
I cannot tell you how that works.
It's shit like that bothers me.
Yeah, I can't tell you how that works. I actually thought that one of my issues with it, I disagree a little bit. One of my issues with her version of the suit is it's just they haven't really settled on an iconic look.
No, it's like,
for example, Tony's yellow and red is so iconic, and the way it's shaped around him with the face.
Yeah,
and I don't know that they've settled on anything that for her, at least for me, that stands out amongst what we've already seen. So I disagree there. I also I get what they're going for in that she is a genius and she had all this help, but it seems really implausible that she's building a suit out of a car and out of the garage.
Like a day.
That I know that again. Tony did it in a cave, but he built this like very mechanical suit, and he's older and he has all this access to tech where he can just start building these suits on like a conveyor belt. So yeah, what did you think of when they were fighting him? The effects of him turning into like a demon.
I mean, I thought that was interesting. I thought it was pretty good. It was kind of creepy, and I didn't expect it. And he was giving into it. Mm-hmm. So that was all right. And like her fighting Stain with his upgrades was also kind of fun and silly. And that's from the comics. And I even think regarding the suit, I think she's got a number of different suits in the comics. I don't know if there's one iconic version, but I just like that it was like bulky and it looked practical. It wasn't like a nanotech kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I like the bulky, and the red and black look nice. I don't know, but it's the magic. It took her so long to figure out I can't fight magic with science. I have to fight magic with magic.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting turn. I thought they would have leaned more into the tech versus the science, but yeah, they fully leaned into let's bring in the magic and have her combine it with the tech, and that's another thing too is that her character is the type to take shortcuts and not necessarily go about things. I mean, she takes shortcuts to get money to fund her suit. She takes shortcuts to build this latest version of her suit. She takes shortcuts to deal with her pain with the loss of Natalie. So like, I give Marvel credit that they ended this show in a way that's very different than the way they normally end these types of shows. Yeah. But I struggle with the fact that even though I enjoyed some aspects of the show, do I actually like Riri Williams?
I don't. Yeah, and I don't even know if we're supposed.
I've been listening to this when you guys talk about this character, and I'm like, does that track? Like, is someone with this amount of genius that can create these things? Is Harvard or MIT or any place not going to take this person?
Right.
They just shit people out like that could just make shit suits like this. So like. Just the idea that this person has to steal, to it's like they're trying to make this narrative like, oh, this person can't get a break, but in reality, if you have the ability to create anything near what Tony Stark can create, you would be employed.
How many rich people
they would roll out the red carpet for you?
How many rich people would fund her if she like actually needed? She's smart enough that she could get it.
Number one, so just on that one thing, I'm like, this is some writer's fantasy. It's not has no bearing on what would really happen. So it's hard for me to even be in on the ground floor there because like that just seems disingenuous because you want to create this narrative like that. Well, Tony Stark is rich and that's why he's successful. So having brains doesn't matter in this world. And like, that's not a good message to put out there. First of all, if you could do all this stuff, unless you had some like ridiculous kind of like habit, like you're a cokehead or something that was really self-destructive, people would still.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How many fucking self-destructive people who had talent?
I mean, Tony Stark is a self-destructive person himself.
Right. But he was born rich.
But yeah. Well, so, but so they have to get her to join a crew to get to this hood to get her to Mephisto, I guess. But it all kind of ties back together at the end. So they did do a good job of making this ridiculous thing kind of
Well, they were trying to tell the
Resolve.
story that her trauma is affected her so much that she is singularly focused on building this suit, so she's not powerless in another situation where one of her friends is getting shot.
Right.
But yeah, I mean the way they place her. That's Ruggs brings up a good point. After the Wakanda Forever, like Wakandans know about her, the government knows about her. It's not like she would just go back to MIT and then like get kicked out and live in Chicago and live this inconspicuous life where
Right.
she needs to like commit crimes.
Yeah.
So that is a good point, and that makes. I think that's part of the reason why, like when we reviewed the first 3 episodes, I was like, why is she committing crimes? Like
Yeah.
I don't understand this.
Yeah. It was just the easiest way to get money.
well,
I don't know.
No, it's just a writer's fantasy.
yeah.
They're like, listen, we need to make her. We can't have her be this like person who's smart and people want to. You have to make the story about her not having things and the world being against her.
Right.
And I think that okay, like when you have this amount of you have this special kind of talent that is obvious, like that you saved the world with. I don't know.
She would be trying to stop them instead of joining them, that's the big disconnect. Really.
Maybe, but I would still think that she wouldn't have to resort to crime to fund her.
What'd you think of Dominique Thorne after these 3 episodes, Anthony? Same? Any difference?
She's all right. I mean, she's okay. I don't have a strong opinion on her either way. I didn't think she was bad. I didn't think she was like a standout character. I think the character she's playing isn't very likable at times.
Yeah. So she's doing
they're trying to do like the flawed character that's really traumatized by her past and has her heart in the right place but takes shortcuts. I don't know. It's not a great. It's not a character where I'm like, man, like I want to see her redemptive arc. I don't really know. To start off with her being like this, I don't know. It's
weird.
I think they're trying to do like a Tony Stark thing, right?
Yeah.
Where Tony Stark like has lived this long life of being a weapons manufacturer and having a silver spoon in his mouth, also has some trauma, but inadvertently was funding like the war, right?
Right.
But that's the thing. Like, there's a key difference there. He wasn't necessarily trying to fund.
Right.
He didn't realize, he needed an epiphany to realize, oh shit, the things I'm doing are funding this war.
Yeah.
And once he finds that out, he's like, oh, I'm going to stop this shit immediately. And even though he continues to make mistakes in the future, like with in the comics with alcohol or in the MCU with like Ultron, he's doing this because he's got this pressure and he's trying to do the right thing. This character that they've set up with Riri is also making mistakes, but she's like actively choosing to make mistakes.
She's doing and trying not to do the right thing.
She's like, and she's not. She doesn't have this like. I don't know. She doesn't have this like. Tony's like, I don't want my weapons to be in the hands of criminals anymore, so I'm going to shut this down. And now I don't want the world. I've seen the world and what's popular, what's out there, and I need to protect the world because I'm the only guy that can do it.
Right.
Whereas Riri is like, I want to create this metal suit to protect my family, but I'm going to keep making bad choices that put my family in danger.
More and more risk, which means I need the suit more and more. You see?
Right. And I'm going to keep taking more shortcuts to get the suit so that I can deal with the shit that I've created for my own. Like, she doesn't have this like bigger purpose, and I'm not saying like that she need all the Marvel characters need a world-saving purpose. Yeah. But when you frame it like that, it just the character's just not a great character.
It's lacking that kind of thing, and maybe she's still searching for a purpose, but making the deal with the devil is like not the way to go. So that I just thought that was interesting that they had.
It was an interesting choice.
Yes.
Yeah, they had to end the show like that. Ruggs, that's how it ends. Is just her making a deal with the devil, and then that's it.
And he brings her.
And you're like, okay.
He brings her dead friend back, and you're like, what the fuck? And then there's a post-credit tag regarding Parker, who I thought Anthony Ramos did a little bit better. Like, I got more of his backstory. We learned that the guy, all the companies he was hitting, the guy who owns it was his father who kicked him out when he was 12. So this whole thing has been daddy issues of him trying to get back at his father and get some power.
Right.
And at the end of the day, he's just a dude again. And he shows up at the magic store where that girl Zelma works looking for some supreme type of magic help.
Can I ask how she creates her friend into the AI? How does that happen?
So this is exactly how it happens. You see a computer, she puts these diodes on her forehead, and then you see this countdown. It takes 4 hours.
So like she's doing it willingly, her friend.
No,
she falls asleep.
Yeah, she's trying to impart the Ironheart suit with her own mind to create AI, but she accidentally falls asleep because it takes 4 hours, and she subconsciously programs it with the memory of her dead friend.
And somehow this AI has all the memories that her friend had, which makes no sense.
Wait a minute. She puts diodes on her or her friend?
No, her. Her
friend is dead.
Yes, her friend died at a drive-by years earlier.
Oh, that's fucking stupid.
And somehow she, from her own head, she makes a replica of her friend with the memories.
Well, it's not actually, they kind of clarify that. So it's not the memories of her friend that are in her head. In Natalie's head. It's Riri's perception of how the memories played out.
What she remembers with Natalie.
Yeah, right. And then the AI inferring what Natalie might have thought about.
I'll tell you what, the Lyric Ross, I think, played Natalie. Like, they did feel like they were lifelong childhood friends. I enjoyed their chemistry. It just, so many things didn't make sense and would just take me out of the show because she's AI. But I also appreciated that she had, she got deleted, and the whole deal is all about her friend, not the suit. But I thought those two were cool. They were fun to watch together. They had good chemistry.
Yeah, they weren't bad.
I mean, look at this. There's a person who has the technology to use their thoughts to program something.
She doesn't even know how
while they're sleeping.
She didn't even know how she did
and
it.
She can't catch a break.
Yes, she can't. It was an accident. Rux, also in the first 3 episodes, for some reason, Eric Andre is in like 2 episodes, and then they write him off and kill him. It was just very odd that Eric Andre was.
Oh my god!
Was on this show. But
did he run in and start breaking the set? That's what I would like.
He didn't run in and smash the table. I was waiting for him to just start smashing things. But it was very odd that he was in there. Alden Ehrenreich also, I thought he did a pretty good job. He was all right. Yeah, he gets Zeke Stain, who is still out there. Ruggs, this is Obadiah Stain's son, Ezekiel Stain, he's in the comics too. I think.
Well, it's his brother's Jizz Stain.
And then his cousin Jizz stopping by, get some beers.
Yeah.
Yo, Jizz, what's up?
Yeah.
Stop calling me that. So, Anthony, there are some things this thing could set up that I've seen. There was a show, Strange Academy, that was probably in development, which is like Wong training all these sorcerers. Young Avengers. Possibly Ironheart season 2, but where do we go from here? Do we see Ironheart again? Do you want to see Mephisto again? I want to see Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto again. He was fucking great.
Was he in the getup?
No, he looked like a normal person, but he would have an American accent, then he'd have a British accent. He had a beard, but there's one moment where there's a spoon and a reflective thing in front of him, and in the reflection, you see his red face and glowy eyes, his true form. In the reflection of the spoon. It's real quick.
He's wearing he's very well dressed. He's wearing a very nice blazer, and he's got like long hair and beard, and his hair is like long, but then also ponytailed in the middle. Like, I actually think he's not bad as Mephisto.
I think he's perfect. Dude, this casting was rumored. Like, you could pull up articles from like 2021, 2022. It was like, Sacha Baron Cohen's going to be Mephisto. That long ago, but he's perfect, and I just love seeing him in the MCU. Fucking boy, boy, it's very nice. How much for your soul? How much?
We must do disco dance.
We must do. Look, I have a chair, and I'm in the hell.
I don't think this show is building to anything because I don't think they're going to be doing a ton of TV shows.
But the way they ended it up, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Said you feel like you're alluding to something.
Well, no, of course, but that it was also filmed in 2022.
That's true. They forgot about
I think if it gets good ratings, they might do a season 2 because it does end on a cliffhanger. But yeah, I don't think Marvel is doing much with TV moving forward. I think they're gonna do some animated stuff. They'll do some self-contained stuff, but
I don't
the
think
days of them building towards more things on the days of them greenlighting everything and putting them on TV. I don't think we're seeing that stuff anymore.
Yeah, and it's probably a good thing.
It is a good thing.
Oh my god, I can't stop thinking of Borat now.
But yeah, Borat is in the MCU. It's amazing. I don't think a lot of people watch this show or are gonna watch it. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh my god.
But okay, final thoughts, Anthony. Rate it, rank it. What do you think?
Yeah, this was a tricky show because I was entertained by it at times. I didn't think it was horrible, but I wasn't exactly thrilled and engaged the entire time either. As I said earlier, I think the show makes more sense once you know the ending, but it wasn't the most enjoyable ride throughout. It's not nearly as it doesn't like peter out like your Moon Knights or your
most
Marvels.
shows can't stick the landing. This one was kind of the opposite. Where
it lands it a little bit.
Yeah.
It doesn't really. It lands it in a way that makes you go, oh, huh? Like it recontextualizes the entire series.
Yeah.
So I think I ended up with this being a 6 out of 10.
Yeah,
like it's all right. It's passable. I have it ranked above your Miss Marvels and Moon Knights.
Oh, get the fuck out! Above Miss Marvel?
The Hawkeyes. Miss Marvel sucks by the end. I have it right behind. The top 3 I have are Loki, WandaVision, and Agatha all along.
Yeah. And
then Ironheart is 4th, but it's like, even though it's a 6 out of 10, it's like not clear, like not even close to those other shows. Like this is another. I hate to like lump it in because it does end in a way that's intriguing, but at the end of the day, it's just another kind of mediocre Marvel show.
Yeah,
slightly above average, like 5.5, 6. You could watch it and be entertained. If you didn't watch it, I wouldn't be like, you need to go out of your way and see this.
Yeah, I'm about there too. I appreciated the style, the visuals, the music. It is consistent. It's well made. It is all over the place. I did love the way it ended. I love seeing Sacha Baron Cohen, but it's a mixed bag at best. But I felt like I was reading a comic book. So sometimes when that happens, that's not a bad thing for me because I was like, this is just so fucking wacky. This is something you would see in a comic book is fucking Riri with magic fighting Zeke Stain with it was totally comic booky. I think it's better than Echo and Secret Invasion. I will give it a 6.5 on the rating.
Oh yeah, I think it's better than Echo and Secret Invasion.
But you're right. It's mid. It did surprise me. It was a little bit better than I was expecting after these last 3. So shoot it in Chicago. That's what you got to do next. That's it. So Phase 6 starts July 25th with Fantastic Four and continues on Disney Plus in August with Eyes of Wakanda animated. And then there is a Wonder Man show. So I don't know. Happy Phase 6, everyone. Whatever. What do you get? What do you get for that? What is that? Silver? What is that? What is that gift? It's cotton.
I don't know.
It's raw cotton, Rugs.
Oh, raw uncut cotton.
Uncut cotton. All right, fellas, let's take a break here. We're gonna play some promos. Rugs, we'll get you back in. We'll talk about dinosaurs.
Oh yeah!
Right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
What's up? This is Brian, and I'm the host of Citizens of Pawnee, a Parks and Recreation podcast. That's right, a podcast dedicated to my favorite TV show, Parks and Rec. Every week I discuss my favorite things about the show, which include character breakdowns, episode rewatches, and other random facts and tidbits about the show. You can find me on Instagram at Citizens of Pawnee Podcast and listen wherever you get your podcast now. You will literally love it.
I'm Imran.
And I'm Sophia.
I'm the brother.
And I'm the sister. And we are watching a show about cousins.
We're your hosts for Dance of Joy, a Perfect Strangers rewatch podcast.
We grew up watching the 80s hit sitcom, and now we'd like you to join us every week as we rediscover our love for our favorite TV cousins, Balky and Larry.
You can find our show at danceofjoypod.com and on all major podcast platforms. Now we are so happy, Sophia. We do the Dance of Joy.
Imran, this is a podcast. They can't see us.
Oh, po.
Jock and Nerd.
Listener, if you enjoy this show and look forward to hanging out with us every week, you should definitely check out our Patreon fan club. Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon.
Jock and Nerd.
And for as little as $3 a month, you can give back, support the show, and you get stuff like access to an exclusive Patreon-only podcast feed where the shows come out a little bit early. We put up instant reactions to movies and mini movie reviews. And like I said, this is a great week. Why? Because since the last episode, I have posted, between the three of us, fellas, 8 things were posted on the Patreon feed.
That's 80 minutes of gold.
It's at least 80 minutes of gold.
Or around there. Maybe 60, at least another hour.
60 to 80 minutes. But it's bonus stuff that only you can get if you are a Patreon member. We will discuss some of those things at the end of this show. You can also join us for our monthly Discord hangouts. Those are tons of fun. The next one will be Thursday, July 17th, in between Superman and Fantastic Four. And other fun stuff on the Patreon tiers, like picking a movie, getting a t-shirt. Check it out. Sign up. We appreciate all of our continued support. jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Okay, fellas, let's get to this week's review. We are here, and it's time to talk about Jurassic World Rebirth. Here's your spoilers.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
They are calling this a standalone sequel to Jurassic World Dominion from 2022. So it's the 4th world film and the 7th overall Jurassic film in this 32-year-old franchise. 7 movies. This one on the Rotten Tomatoes, 52%. Not fresh. Green splats from the critics. 72% audience rating. And out of the 7, that puts this one dead in the middle. 4th highest, behind, of course, the original Jurassic Park at 91%. Then Jurassic World 2015, 72%. And then The Lost World, second one, 56%, just edging out. Out of the 7 movies, there's only 2 fresh movies. If you're going by Rotten Tomatoes, it's kind of interesting. This movie's budget, $180 million, which I feel is a little bit less than what they were spending the last time around. And it did open on the Wednesday, July 2nd of the 5-day 4th of July holiday. So we were trying to figure out how to do the numbers. I got the numbers. 3-day domestic opening, $91.5 million. Does not crack $100 million 3-day, but the 5-day opening, $147 million. Globally, it's at $318 million globally. It's the biggest global launch of the year so far. It's almost doubled its budget. That's crazy. Doing real well overseas. This franchise, as of this month, has generated $6 billion in total. $6 billion franchise. A couple other interesting things to note. If you're comparing this to opening weekend, so this is what's interesting. I don't know if it sounds like a good start, right? 91 million, 147, 5-day, 318 global. For any movie, that's great, but I don't know if that's great for Jurassic standards, because Dominion opened at 145, Fallen Kingdom opened at 148. They made those in 3 days. This thing, it took 5 days and only makes 147.
Well, I think that's one way to look at it, but when you release it on July 4th, you are trying to rope in that 5-day crowd, because you know that during the weekend there's going to be a segment of the audience that is not going out.
So the 5-day ultimately
not going out, not going to a movie. They're going to be outside. Time-wise,
the 5-day kind of compacts to a 3-day, basically, is what you're saying. If you take out
sort of, yeah.
So
I don't know how you it's not exactly a regular 3-day.
Yeah.
But it's not exactly comparing it to a regular 5-day either.
So with that said, it opens about even from the last 2, and all the last 3 movies made $1 billion. Of course, Jurassic World 2015, biggest opening, $208 million that fucking thing opened to. I forgot about that. Also, because of this movie's box office, Scarlett Johansson has officially become the highest grossing lead actor in box office history.
Oh, shit.
All of her movies where she's lead combined have earned her $14.8 billion at the box office. She jumped ahead of these two guys, Sam Jackson, Robert Downey Jr. She was third. Now she's number one.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy. She can thank the MCU for that, but you know who the big winner is? Husband Colin Jost. He's the big winner, if you think about it. Good work, buddy. The highest grossing actor. This one, directed by Gareth Edwards, who goes from Godzilla to Star Wars to doing one of his own things, The Creator, now to Jurassic. Pretty fun little resume there. Written by David Koepp, who also wrote the first movie. And your main cast here is now ScarJo, as we just talked about, as Zora Bennett, Mahershala Ali as Duncan Kincaid. You got Jonathan Bailey as the scientist, Dr. Henry Loomis. Rupert Friend as the corporate douchebag, Martin Krebs. And a whole family, a couple other people. I'm not going to mention anybody else's name. Ed Skrein, though, is in this for a little bit. I didn't even know that was him. Remember, he was the bad guy in Rebel Moon. But those are your main cast. Anthony.
Yes.
What happens in this PG-13, 2 hour 14 new entry into the Jurassic franchise?
Yes. So we ended Dominion and they were all over the Earth, right? Well, sort of. They were all over the Earth, but then also in a reservation. I'm not exactly sure how Dominion ended. The whole point of Dominion was the dinosaurs were all over the Earth, and then they're not.
Yeah.
But then they're not. Anyways, so now in Jurassic World Rebirth, the dinosaurs are going extinct everywhere except near the equator, because the equator, or anywhere close to the equator, is closest to their natural habitat.
Sure.
So the dinosaurs are now going back towards the equator, and the dinosaurs, especially the large ones, potentially have the cure for heart disease. So a businessman in the pharmaceutical industry hires Scarlett Johansson's team of mercenaries, along with a scientist, to go to, I believe they go to somewhere, French Guiana or somewhere, island.
Yeah, it's in the Atlantic. It's in a different area. It's off the coast of French Guiana, Isle Saint Hubert.
Yeah, so they are tasked with going to this area of the Earth to get blood samples from the 3 largest dinosaurs. So 1 sea, 1 land, and 1 air. And by doing this is an illegal mission. They get caught up in dealing with lots of other dinosaurs on this island that was the home for the mutant dinosaurs that they were trying to experiment with. And along with that, there is a family that is, for some godforsaken reason,
random family
in the ocean,
yes,
and gets shipwrecked, and also is intersected into this story.
And now it's a rescue/extraction mission.
Yeah.
All right, Ruggs, let's start with you, since we haven't had a chance to talk. How you doing over there?
Hey, what's up?
How's it going? How's the slack hole feel?
It's pretty loose.
Give me your history with the Jurassic movies and opening thoughts on this one. What happened?
Well, obviously the first one's the classic, a great movie. It really, for its time, was a very memorable theater experience. Magic, if you will.
Yeah.
The other movies kind of started falling by the wayside, and I did like the third one where they had the Spinosaurus and the T-Rex fight, but that was just so short and not really fleshed out, and I guess that's how it would work in real life. But yeah, these movies kind of get repetitive, and then they rebooted it with Jurassic World, and they kind of breathed a little bit of life into it, made it a bigger production with all the newest technology. And then that's it. Like, once you do that, like, for example, like, it needed a little dusting off, right? It was like the old one was old and they, it's dated. So they wanted to kind of dust it off and do the same thing. And they did it. And it was fine. It wasn't like a great movie by the end, there was a lot of stupid things going on in the movie, of course. But then they just kept making it stupider.
Yes.
And making it like dumber. And then by the last one, it wasn't even about dinosaurs anymore.
Yeah.
And it had like something to do with like like bugs,
Locusts, grasshoppers.
locusts.
Yeah, and
I remember there was a little clone girl who was like, "I'm just gonna free all the dinosaurs."
yeah, and they never really got into that. But so they got to themselves in this quandary where now they have dinosaurs everywhere, all over the world, and then now, so how do they deal with it? How do they deal with this quagmire that they put themselves in? Well, they just write it out in the first in a crawl that they have at the beginning of the movie.
Everyone is bored with dinosaurs, is what they tell you.
Yeah.
Well, and also that the dinosaurs are dying.
And yes, but the fact that the public is weary of dinosaurs is, I don't know, it's kind of crazy.
It doesn't make any sense to the story because, in one hand, the public is tired of dinosaurs, but on the other hand, they're everywhere. They were everywhere, but now, we can cure fucking diseases with them. So now nobody cares about them. Of course, people would care about them. I don't know,
I think you would always care about fucking dinosaurs walking around New York City. Like,
people still care about things. People go to the zoo to see monkeys.
Yeah, they go to the zoo to see elephants and giraffes. Like, it's a fucking brontosaurus.
Like, if you know there's a monkey, you're gonna go see the monkey.
I want to see this ape.
Let's say like you went to Las Vegas and then you there was a monkey there. You'd go see the monkey. You went to Egypt and there was a monkey there. You'd go look and see.
Let's go see the monkey. How you bored?
Yeah, there was a dinosaur there. You'd go see the dinosaur.
Shit! How'd you get?
People go to fake dinosaur parks now.
Yeah.
Where they're just fake dinosaurs. Yeah. People go and see fake dinosaur fucking things. So, I don't know if I buy that. People are tired of dinosaurs. People are tired of watching the same movie over and over.
It might have been a meta commentary on the franchise also.
Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to do. But I digress. So, so the dinosaurs are now only in the equator. And how did they get there?
They took an Uber. I don't know.
Yeah, they take an Uber. Is there a ferry?
Yeah,
taking the dinosaurs over there.
They took the tram.
Because like, there's a lot of dinosaurs that don't fly or swim that can't get the fuck over there. How are they getting there?
Mm-hmm.
Riddle me that, Batman.
Good question.
So yeah, that's kind of a questionable thing. And then you got to go. Now you got a bunch of equator islands, and people live on those. So what's going on there? Are they just showing up to the Bahamas? Like, what are they doing? Like, where are they going in the equator? Where are they fucking going? Ecuador?
Dino Resort. Yeah.
They're just showing up in Central America everywhere.
But overall, when the movie ended, how did you feel?
Me?
Yeah.
I thought it was a dumb movie. I thought it was
That's
dumb.
what I'm getting to.
I really think that like they had a lot of good stuff going on. Number one, they had a decent director. All right. Not great, but decent. I feel like you had star power, right? You had like a couple of new elements that you could have played up. The mutant thing, okay, that's a new thing. All right. Maybe they were fucking around with ideas to, we know that they did the Indominus Rex. They wanted to make new dinosaurs. So they could have, but they didn't do anything interesting with it. The dinosaurs that they made were like this Distortus Rex, D-Rex.
Yep.
Which looks kind of like a Rancor monster.
Yep, from Return of the Jedi.
And then they got some birds. A bird like, I don't know.
It's like a raptor,
a turkey?
Pterodactyl, hybrid, mutant, something.
Yeah, it's very uninspired.
Pterodactyl raptor type.
Like, you're going to go do this shit. Let's make some cool shit. Like, let's go. Like, let's fucking go. You want to go and make some mutant dinosaurs? Let's make some fucking scary ass shit.
Yeah.
Let's fucking make them fucking be terrifying. You could have gone into a whole new realm here. So they have that going for it. And you have the fact that it's not tethered. Like this idea that Jurassic World, right? The idea that dinosaurs are now among us and we don't need a park. We just need to fucking, we'll be fucking out on a yacht somewhere and all of a sudden something will fuck it. Like that's a whole movie in and of itself. Yeah, they're living in Jurassic World.
They haven't really done that, which is what I kept hoping they're going to do, is show us the dinos in the world. And
where you
never really got that.
Yeah. They're just running amok, and now they got to get people to fucking wrangle them around. Like, and you got that whole a dichotomy. You got people who want to fucking get rid of the dinosaurs, and then people are like, oh, this belongs to them. It's their Earth. They were here first. You know, we brought them back. You have that all that stuff's interesting, and you don't even need to bog yourself down with that. But you create the world building with that, and you have a more interesting thing than this, which is we're going to hunt dinosaurs because we need DNA to make a cure for a disease. And a dumb family is on a yacht and gets involved. Yeah. And you know what would happen is that they would never pick up that family because they don't want they don't want to be found out. That
family should have been dead. Yes. Spoilers. They all.
There's no reason that the mosasaur would let them be alive. Yeah. First of all, the fact that it just fucks with them and then just leaves.
Also, after they jump off the boat, I would have been like, well, they're dead. Like, I'm not finding them again. Fuck you guys. But
they ran the boat aground.
Yeah.
The fucking so many dumb things happen in this movie. Yeah. It's hard to even start where. Luckily, Gareth, I can't remember his last name. Edwards. Okay, he's Edward.
He's the Edwards.
He can direct things and make moments happen. There are a couple of good moments.
Yeah.
But overall, I felt like immediately that it was just dumb.
All right, Anthony.
You could tell Ruggs has been winding up. He didn't get to say much for the first.
I wanted to let him get it all out.
Yeah, he got it all out.
Anthony, is this a rebirth or more Jurassic World refund? I stole that joke, but it's funny.
I wouldn't say refund, but I wouldn't say rebirth either. It's remix. I don't know. I don't know what the word is with re. We'll have to someone in the audience, someone in the none of the listeners can think of a re that's appropriate for this. Here's what I'll say about this movie. It does have a good director in terms of Gareth Edwards is probably one of the best directors going in terms of creating scale, using CGI, creating tense situations with the monsters. Yeah. He does seem to, though, pair himself up with just really mediocre scripts or shitty scripts.
Yes.
He constantly is doing movies like this, like the original Godzilla 2014, like The Creator, which all look great and have great scale, but also are like half of that movie are like, what just happened? I don't even remember. I don't even know. I could have gotten back 45 minutes there and been perfectly okay. Elite, I will say this. It's better than the last two.
Yeah.
It's probably the best one since Jurassic World, in my opinion. What goes to its advantage is it's pretty simple in nature. Like the last two were about fucking clones and haunted houses and making the dinosaurs weapons and bidding them and then
auctions.
Locusts.
It was a dino auction.
All sorts of weird shit. And this one is very simple.
Yeah.
They go to the island, they got to get some DNA.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's like Jurassic Park 3. It's just an adventure where they're going back to the island. They are kind of like yo-yoing, like they keep going, like finding reasons to get them on the island, then off the island, then on the island. And even though this isn't the same island, it's still an island. So they don't have a lot of creative capital.
Not a lot of ideas left in the bag there.
Well, I mean, they're clearly rushing these out, right? This came out 3 years after 2022.
Yeah.
You can clearly see that this is another just not really fully fleshed out idea. They just went, hey, we don't want it to be like these last two. We want it to be an adventure. They did that. Yeah. So it's an adventure. It's simple. Yeah. You have star power with Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali. The guy with the glasses is apparently a big star too, especially amongst my friends.
Yeah, he was in Wicked. He's known from Bridgerton. That's why. Jonathan Bailey.
So all that is good. As Ruggs said, the plot is dumb. The dialogue is even dumber at times. Yeah. The family is just idiotic. That's an idiotic thing. I mean, they're trying to rope in a kid into this and recreate the scenes from the original.
Yep.
With the grocery store and all that.
You always got to get a kid that can slip through the bars and do things, right?
It's just stupid. and unfortunately, the characters that are going to live and the ones that are going to die, you can see from a mile away. Like there's no tense, there's nothing scary there. There is some really good tense scenes. Like I think the T-Rex scene in the river is good. All those fucking stupid decisions there. There's also some other tense scenes with the Rancor. So yeah, I mean it's. Look, I was entertained.
Yeah.
I sat in my seat the whole time, and there were times throughout the movie where I was like, I'm having fun with this. It's good.
Yeah.
If you put any thought into it, it's fucking dumb and silly and stupid. And the whoever wrote the boyfriend that's high on weed,
Oh my God.
it's just that person is not funny. I don't know why they have that character in the movie.
I wanted him to get eaten so badly.
Yeah, so I mean, it's.
So there were no times during this movie where you're just like, okay, let's go. Like, what are we doing here?
There was definitely some times where, I mean, whenever it cuts to the fucking family, I'm like, this is just slowing everything down.
It takes a while. It takes a while.
This movie could be an hour 40 without this fucking family in this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's. Is it entertaining? Yes. Is it stupid? Yes. Am I like, yo, they finally figured out the formula? No. I'll leave it like this for now, at least before we go into it. I had a good time at the theater, but these movies should be a lot better.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah, why are they this bad?
I mean, yeah. If you look at the Rotten Tomato scores and just the quality of everything except for the first movie, they should all be so much better. But that's essentially how I felt. I went in. The first one is great, and the others are what they are. You take them for what they are. And I went in with really low expectations, turned my brain off, and I also had mostly a fun time. I did appreciate just this back to basic, simple, straightforward formula. Right? Get the fucking DNA samples. Get the fuck off. This family complicates things. Whatever. Get the DNA samples. Get the family. Get the fuck out. I did like all of the dino scenes. I thought.
Yeah.
Were a lot of fun. They were well done. And I will agree, despite the script, it's not Gareth Edwards' fault. I think he's a perfect director for a Jurassic movie. And I wouldn't mind seeing a couple more with slightly better script. But it does feel like they just shot like the first draft of this script with this horrible dialogue, thin, fucking unnecessary characters. It reminds me a lot of Jurassic Park 3. And there's a lot of callbacks to the first one. And
Well, just real quick, I'm sorry, Ron.
Yeah.
I was listening to, so initially when they did this script, they were so happy with it.
Yeah.
That they were originally going to have David Leitch do the movie.
Oh, shit. Really?
And David Leitch was like, hey, they met on the movie and he said, hey, I want to kind of pepper up this script and do my own rewrites. And they were like, no. Like, we love this script so much that this is the script that's going to be.
So you need a guy he's a hired gun here, right, Gareth? You just need a guy who's going to come in and shoot the fucking whatever that you give him and make it work. And for what it's worth, like, he did a pretty good job with this fucking shit script. Like, there's some impressive sequences, but it does take a while to get going. But once it does, it's pretty good. But then it does when they cut to the family. That fucking kid, I wanted him to get eaten. So bad.
Go ahead.
I feel like, number one, the family was bad, but I think even worse is the fucking guy, the company guy. Like, why is he on this mission? Like, why would you, as a rich billionaire company dude, go where dinosaurs are and be in peril? Like, when you could send a guy to do that for you and you could just kind of like pop in at the end.
Because he's like Paul Reiser from Aliens. He's shady. He needs to get the samples and fucking take off. Make sure.
You can tell they're so creatively bankrupt with that because that has been the theme since the first one.
Yeah.
Is like the corporations are bad. They don't have the best intent. They are trying to play God and make a profit off of playing God. And like, yeah, he's just there to fill the cliche that they've had for 7 movies.
But I mean, there's a kind of a message about big pharma, I guess, that I like, but it's all shoehorned in there as well as any backstory they're trying to tell all these characters.
I mean, the message is basically like you shouldn't play God and like you shouldn't profit off of science like that, right?
Open source. Everyone should be.
Well, I mean, the open. It's not. That's not even like. I mean, it's just. It's so cockamamie in there.
It is.
But the what I'm trying to get at is the themes that they're trying to convey, although not very deep, still exist.
Yeah.
The problem is those themes. We learned about those fucking themes 30 years ago. Like that's in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Like nothing has changed. They don't have anything else to say other than don't play God.
Right.
And then if you play
See
God,
what
you shouldn't
happens-
profit off of it.
Can we just there's so much stupid shit in this movie. We have to start with the opening, the flashback 17 years ago in this high-tech lab that is designed to hold these giant mutant dinosaurs, and it is completely taken down by a fucking Snickers wrapper. Is that what happened?
I didn't really understand what they were implying.
Dude,
with the sticker wrapper thing in there.
what they're implying anything. It's fucking dumb. A Snickers wrapper shuts this whole thing down and causes it to short circuit. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, also, gave Gareth Edwards credit. I do have to take away some points because he just created the same scene he made with Bryan Cranston in Godzilla.
So not only in that movie, he's done this 4 times. The guy locked behind a door with a red background shot. Please open the door for me. That's easily in 4 Gareth Edwards movies. He does it in Rogue One. When Darth Vader comes at the end, you see the same thing. The guy gets stuck behind the door and it's red behind him. He's done it 4 times. It's like his signature thing.
There's a lot of Gareth Edwards-isms in this movie.
Not as good when you don't have Bryan Cranston doing the acting there.
Yeah. No, but it's like, why was that guy eating a Snickers bar? Why you just put it in your pocket? Why you just spit? What the fuck is going on? A fucking Snickers wrapper? But the Gareth Edwardness comes out in a couple of places. He cites that he was inspired by Spielberg a lot. So the whole Maz's
I'd hope so. The guy's the fucking producer of the fucking franchise.
Well, and apparently they talked to him and they took some notes from him and stuff, which is kind of crazy. But the Mosasaurus scene, very Jaws like.
Yeah, very Jaws.
And that was really great. And then when they find those the Titanosaurus where the Dr. Loomis, the guy who studies dinosaurs, finally gets to meet one in person, which we've seen before. They're doing it again. But then
when they do the Titanosaurus and they play the theme, it's like playing the greatest hits.
That gets me. And those long ass tails were wild, and those two were about to mate. Apparently, there's a mating scene, and they scaled it back. But those 2 dinos were supposed to fuck. I would have watched that.
Wow.
The T-Rex River sequence, I also learned, first of all, this is a sequence that was in the original book that they've been waiting years to adapt to the live screen. It was not in the first movie. Aside from like some of the plates being weird, like I noticed like the family didn't look like they were in the shot. I thought the sequence was kind of fun. And the T-Rex is sleeping on its back like a fucking dog. And the whole raft like disappear where it pops up and she knocks it down. And then it was pretty thrilling.
Well, it was different. I thought it was a thrilling scene, but also like, girl, like don't fucking like come back.
Yeah.
Like don't get the raft right now. What are you doing?
Yes. She's like, I gotta pull this.
Somebody help her.
This giant raft.
What is everybody just standing around there?
None of that, man. Like none of them all just standing there letting her like do this on her own.
Where's the boyfriend now? The fuck, bro?
Just come back. Like, do you need the fucking raft right then?
She's pulling it.
It's a thrilling scene, right? Like
she could literally pull it into the water, and then it'd be in the water.
How did that raft not pop? Also, you fucking bit down on it, and it was fine.
Yeah.
And then you got the.
Don't get me wrong though. I thought it was a really good scene and really riveting. Like different use of the T-Rex. Having him swim after it like that, you've never really seen them. Do that,
like he's stalking them and kind of hunting them. Ruggs, did you like the dino scenes themselves? Did you have a favorite one?
I thought they were all pretty good. They were all like fun in their own way. Like the one in the water was good. The T-Rex after you have the stupidity of how they get there, it goes off pretty well. And when the girl's under the raft and the T-Rex is trying to get her and then he's swimming in the water.
That was crazy.
Never seen a T-Rex swim before. That was cool.
And seeing the Spinosauruses in the water. Have we seen them in the water?
I feel like that they were underused.
Yeah, that could have been interesting. I mean, they eat the one. I love how his crew is 3 people you barely know, and you're like, oh, they're all getting.
I feel like the Spinosaurs were not really. You never really get a good look at them, and they're kind of like they look smaller than they should.
I didn't know they were amphibious like that. That they could.
Oh yeah, they swam around.
Well, there was a totally different portrayal of them in Jurassic World.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But you know, the shots in Thailand, I like it. He likes to shoot on location there. He's a lot of this. He's working the camera himself. Let's talk about the Distortus Rex. Really didn't explain it. Oh, it's scary looking. It does look like the Rancor from Star Wars. It's huge. It's got two big arms with prehensile thumbs and then like two tiny arms in the middle. But I'm not really sure what it was a mutation of. And then the whole thing at the end where he uses the flare, just like they've done in the other movies, and you think he's dead. Mahershala Ali's character, they do the fake out. Also, I think like at the end of Jurassic Part 3,
they do that same thing, yeah.
How did he get away? And I was waiting when they saw him the second time and he's waving the thing. I was waiting for that thing to just jump out and fucking eat him right there. But it doesn't. He gets away and he survives. What do you guys think of the design of that fucking thing, what we saw?
It's fine. I mean, it's a little uninspired because it reminds you of other things. And it reminds me of the Rancor, reminds me of, you know, the Cloverfield. It reminds me of all those things that we've seen with the even the Muto from Godzilla. Like they all have like the big long arms in the front, and then they have the little arms underneath. So I feel like that design is overused now. Like we got to stop with this design. Like let's try and think of something cool, like that's different. Like, you know, like let's do something. Even if you're gonna do something with 6 legs, let's do something different. With 6 legs. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know what it is. I think it's like they're using these archetypes and they're not like nature is way cooler of a designer than what they're doing. Like the diversity that we have in nature we got some crazy looking shit. You ever look at bugs?
Oh yeah.
And how different they look. It's like, okay.
They look like aliens. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's go.
What about
you want to make some mutants?
What about the bird scene, the Quetzalcoatl nest in those? There's another thing. There was ruins with all these markings, and I was like, what is this? What civilization lived here? They don't really care. But the bird thing
that makes no sense. Yeah,
why are all those markings there?
If it wasn't like Central America, then it would make sense, but it's not.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. They were trying to do that because it, you know, they compared that to a god. That's where the name comes from. Quetzalcoatl comes from some kind of Central American or, you know, something. So
somehow they had enough climbing gear left after ditching the boat to get the fuck down there too. I did like the device he comes up with, the extraction device that sucks in the thing and then ejects in his parachute. I was like, that's pretty clever. And it worked. They got all the samples pretty easily, mostly for the most part.
Can I, before you get too far away from it, let me comment real quick on the D-Rex.
Yes. What do you think of the D?
The D-Rex? Yeah, I mean, you know, I've seen Orgas and I've seen a lot of stuff that looks like this as well. So I echo Ruggs' thoughts. Look, it was entertaining. I was intrigued to see what a new dinosaur looks like. I think I don't really have an issue with it. I thought it was fine. I think as though that like we're just running out of stuff to do. Like we already saw the Jurassic World was built around the Indominus Rex and how it was this mutated thing that shouldn't have been in nature, and you get this fun battle with the Godzilla, like all the not Godzilla, the T-Rex, like all the natural things of Velociraptor and Mosasaurus teaming up. Like when you go full out like wild like that, then go wild. This one they kind of just have it. It exists.
Yeah, they scaled back.
Not really. It's they're not going full comic book with it, but they're not really saying.
They didn't really use it enough.
Yeah, it's just because it's just kind of there. I don't know. It just. Yeah, I just felt like it existed in the story, but it doesn't really.
I feel like
part of the adventure.
I feel like okay, they're on their way there. They're fucking with the Mosasaurus. They got the Spinosaurus. They finally get on land. They're around. Okay, they run into a T-Rex, but then after that point, they can't even do. They shouldn't be able to do their mission because these fucking mutant dinosaurs. These things are smarter.
Yeah,
they're way more. They've been designed to be way more effective at whatever they're doing than nature.
Right.
And that makes it interesting, but they never do that.
So that
They
begs
just kind of like,
if these are all mutant dinosaurs, what the fuck is Dolores? Is that going to be a problem? By the way, I
thought Dolores was going to be something.
Yes,
I thought like at some point like Dolores's mom was going to fight the
That's what I
D-Rex.
thought.
I was
That's what I
expecting
thought, too.
Dolores to do something. It may have been cut out, but Dolores don't do shit, and she leaves the island with them.
And Dolores just looks like a conventional
It's
dinosaur
an
too.
Aqualops, but it looks like a little Triceratops.
Well, not every dinosaur on that island
Is a mutant?
dinosaur.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay. I thought
What
that,
is an Aqualops?
and I don't Aqualips. I thought
don't-
they were
I don't know what that
all
means.
just dangerous shit was on that island. Maybe not. Maybe she got left
No.
behind.
No, but I agree. I thought the whole premise here was that she would call in the herd of Triceratops
Something.
to help with this.
She does
but
a
no.
fun little cute squeak, and then the T-Rex stops or something. I don't know. I thought she got to do something. They do the gas station bit, which is just like the kitchen bit in the first one, but just not as good, I guess. A couple other things. I did Zora and Loomis. They were like flirting. I did not buy this at all. Like, I thought that was weird.
I wanted them to fuck. That was
Really?
one of the,
Oh,
yeah.
you were
I was
into-
like,
you were
let me
into- you were into the-
let me see something.
What'd you think of ScarJo's performance? I thought she was like, she's fine. She's doing a little Black Widow kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, she's all right. I mean, she's okay. I don't know that.
Do you
know, if
buy
I-
her as a mercenary?
Yeah.
So exactly,
I
that's
don't know about
exactly what I was
that.
going to say. I don't know if she would be the first mercenary I would hire
Yeah.
for this mission.
Yeah.
She might have been on page maybe person 20
Yeah.
Well,
out
like,
of this.
there's nothing wrong with her. Like, it's just the character her itself. Like the way she's playing it and what they gave her to do doesn't seem very mercenary like, or very much like a hardened
Right.
warp. Like when you watch the Lioness,
Right.
You know that Zoe Saldana,
Saldana is
that
in-
character
yes.
is way more like focused
She's
and
locked
determined.
in. Yes.
Yeah. And she just seems like flirty.
She
and
seems like she's just
whatever.
playing herself. Like, really.
Yeah.
ScarJo. And Mahershala Ali
Yeah.
was fun to watch. He looked like he was having fun. Doesn't get to do a lot.
Well,
but
they're trying to like throw in all this trauma that they have too, and I get what they're doing because they want to make these characters a little bit more 3-dimensional, but it does erode a little bit of the credibility she has in her role. Because if I was going to hire someone that looked like her, she better be like have the best crew and
Yeah.
be laser focused. But she's very much playing it off like, yeah, I have some trauma, but I also am like a really caring person, and I want to I'm gonna save a family, and I
Trying
really
to make her everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's just the character's just got too many things
it's
going
almost
on.
like too vanilla of a
Yeah.
character.
Trying to please too many masters, like not make her too tough where it's unbelievable, but also you got to make her tough because this is the first person they hired. So it's just like I don't know.
Loomis said he studied under Alan Grant. That was a nice little Easter egg, but then they just gloss over that. Did you notice the father hurt his leg, but then he was fine? I thought he
Yeah.
fucking broke his bone. I thought there was a fracture, but
Yeah, he was walking around with a cane. I noticed that
Yeah.
right away. He was walking around with a cane, and then
he's
later
fine.
on, he's just running around.
he's just
Yeah, when
running
there's
around.
this T-Rex after you,
What
you
the
start
fuck?
running.
What happened to your leg, bro? Yeah, and there's the whole underground vents bit. I did love when the helicopter came and the fucking thing just snatched it out of the air and tossed it. I was like, oh shit, he's not fucking around this thing. But do you think? Okay, 2 questions. Do we want a sequel? I feel like they've run out of ideas.
I don't know because
All these people survived.
I like the idea of this is what I like. I like the fact that there's dinosaurs everywhere.
Yeah.
That causes a lot of interesting situations. There's dinosaurs.
But they're not everywhere.
But they're not anymore.
Now they're at the equator.
Now they're just at the
Before
equator.
they were everywhere.
Yeah.
Now they're at the equator. But there's still the equator is big. There's a lot of things on the equator.
How many other
There's a lot of
islands
places
with
to be.
dinos are there? This is like the 4th fucking island.
But what do you do? Now you got mutant dinosaurs. You don't have to go back to the park thing. You don't have to go back. I think the idea of Jurassic World, where it's just now there's dinosaurs everywhere, and now they're part of the world. What do? Do you wrangle them up? We follow a team of people whose job is to go and get dinosaurs that out of places? I don't know. You can make that interesting because like the problem is that Like, even if you had one dinosaur, one small dinosaur somewhere, that's a movie.
Yeah.
Because that's a fucking, you have to kill this thing. You have to hunt it down. It's killing everybody's
So
kids.
a sequel about
It's coming in, sneaking into the backyard, eating your dog.
You want a sequel about Dolores growing up and just eating people?
No, but I'm just saying that the world that they have set up here, you can make movies about. You just have to do it in an intelligent way. Now that you got mutants,
Yeah.
I don't know. Did we see all of them? Is there more?
Yeah.
Like, is there other things we didn't see? Is the Rancor monster the best thing that we got? What does that do? What does that want to do? I don't know.
It is true that there's the potential. There's so many things they could have done in that last set of movies and this one, but yet they keep doing the same shit over and over again.
Yeah, they're locked into this nostalgia bait, and that keeps them from actually. You have the idea. Like, the idea is you got dinosaurs back in the world, and that's all you need. And there's a lot of things that can happen, like mutant dinosaurs, or people like using them for whatever, like using them for war, using them for whatever. You want to fucking, hey man, I want you off this property. Let me get some dinosaurs and import them in, run you out of the fucking neighborhood.
That's a movie right there.
Yeah.
Anthony, should they make more?
I mean, they're gonna make more.
They're gonna make more.
This is already doing pretty well in terms of the box office.
Yeah.
Should they make more? I think they shouldn't rush out a movie. I think they should take their time and come up with something that is like coherent and makes sense. I'll give them credit. Like, when they try to think outside the box, they really fuck things up when judging by the last two.
Yeah.
So I liked the at least the concept of, let's just find a way to get them to the islands and put them in an adventure.
Like, I'm gonna put this out there.
Yeah.
All right. The next one should be called Jurassic World Spring Break.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
You go to Cancun. You're following all these Cancun people. All of a sudden, dinosaurs show up.
And they all get
and
eaten.
it's fucking mayhem.
And
you got, like, it's an R rating. There's sex. There's booze. There's boobs.
I
you
love
go.
that. Look, if they make another one, more people need to get eaten. I was kind of disappointed that only a few people got eaten. I wanted to see more people get eaten. But what is the rebirth part of this? I'm not sure. They are going to make more, but
that there's mutants. I don't know.
I feel like they've run out of ideas. Follow-up question then. We talked about the box office. It's doing well. Do you guys think this thing, despite all that, despite Superman coming out next week, does it make $1 billion? Will it have legs?
I don't know if it's good enough to hit $1 billion, because you need repeat viewings to see that, to get that.
Yeah.
I think it'll peter out around 600. So.
Yeah, I think, the last one made just barely over $1 billion.
It did.
This one had a good start, but I do think, like Ruggs said, the word of mouth, I don't think is going to be great on this. And you're dealing with a lot of competition this month with Superman and then Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna make its money back and more. I think it's gonna do well enough where they're like, hey, we need to keep pumping these out, but I don't
bulletproof.
think it's $1 billion. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, people love looking at, like, dinosaurs are what people. I mean, dinosaurs resonate with people more so than most anything because of the fact that, like, these things aren't made up.
Yeah.
Like, they existed at one time, and everyone imagines what could a dinosaur look like. And that wonder you had in Jurassic Park still somewhat exists for people. And people will go and watch dinosaur movies. But they are definitely rushing these out too quickly.
Yeah.
And because of that, they are writing these scripts with this dialogue where even this one, while it's headed in the right direction, is still extremely stupid.
Yeah, that's ultimately what it comes down to. Decent dino scenes. The rest of it is not good.
No, I mean, we are so far from the original one.
And that's what's funny is, honestly, out of the 7 movies, there's one good movie. Like, if you take just nuts and bolts, there's one.
No, the first one isn't. So I would disagree. The first one is an all-time movie.
Yeah.
So it sets a high bar. Lost World is fine. It's disappointing.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park 3, I think, is a good adventure, but it's also like the script is a mess.
Yeah.
Jurassic World is like an entertaining, like, rock'em sock'em robots type. The next 2 are trash, and then this one's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're, like, all bad. It's just the heights that the first one hit, they've never even come close. Even with the second one, where they had Spielberg directing it,
Yeah.
and it was based off of Crichton's stuff, like they couldn't even hit that. So
I think the first one is his only $1 billion movie is Jurassic Park, I believe.
Spielberg?
Yeah. You know what? It is kind of critics proof. Just like you guys said, people love dinosaurs. I think it gets close to $1 billion, but I don't know.
I don't know. I think the word of mouth though, like it's starting. It's trending in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you're gonna make a dumb movie, make a dumb movie, but make it action packed.
Right. Yes.
I don't want to be watching a movie that is this dumb, that has like just long stretches of nothing going on.
Yeah, it is too long where they could have trimmed this up a little bit.
Look, if you're gonna make a fucking movie this dumb, it's gotta be wall to wall, balls to the wall.
Lean into it, like you said. Batshit crazy. All right, Anthony, final thoughts. Give me a rating, rank it, where you put it.
Final thoughts. Yeah, you know, we've said it, but I'll say it again. This movie is entertaining in the theater at times, but also very dumb, with really bad dialogue and some really bad characters. It's not as bad as the last two. The last two, I mean, I've never walked out of movies, but the last two are movies that if people were there where you could show your disgust, you just walk out.
Yeah.
So it's not as bad. It's the best movie since Jurassic World. These movies should be better. So where do I rank it? I think I probably rank it. There's 7 movies. Jurassic Park. I might think it's probably 3rd or 4th.
Yeah.
Like somewhere in the range of Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. I think it's better than Jurassic Park 3 in some ways, because at least like Jurassic Park 3.
I like 3. I like 2 and 3.
Yeah, but Jurassic Park 3, they filmed that movie without a script.
Oh,
They literally.
yeah.
That's why it just ends. 'Cause they were writing it on the. They literally had like threads going on that they just sort of like, oh, screw it. Like Jurassic Park 3 has the point in the movie where the young kid turns evil and steals the eggs.
Yo, that kid was smart though. They actually had a smart kid that was surviving out there.
No, I'm talking about the young, like up and coming kid that's with Grant. And then all of a sudden they just drop that.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden the plot ends where they're just like, oh, we called the army and the navy and this.
It's over.
And they're here. Okay, it's over.
They had some fun dino scenes though, I think.
Yeah, I just like Jurassic World Rebirth a little more. So I'd say probably 3 or 4.
Yeah.
This is a 5.5 out of 10.
Rug, same question. Rate it, rank it.
Yeah, I would say it's a 5. It's probably the 4th best with that.
Yeah.
That's a low bar because a lot of these movies are terrible.
Yeah.
I think, okay, this is what it has going for it that makes it that like the 4th best is that you got ScarJo, who's, easy on the eyes and attractive and like a decent actress, pretty good. You have a new crew, so it feels fresh.
Yeah.
Mahershala Ali and all that other stuff. And you have the idea of mutants and this fact that this kind of dinosaur world. We're living in a world with dinosaurs.
And Gareth Edwards, don't you think that?
And you got a decent director. Yeah. I wouldn't say he's great.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of mid, and so this movie's mid. Yeah. So I'm going to say 5.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I mean, again, I appreciated the simplistic story, but the movie looks great, and I don't understand why there's so many shit scripts, how these things get made. It's kind of crazy. Because it does feel like they just shot the first draft, didn't bother looking at it. I don't know, but this thing prints money. So while I was entertained, I liked all the dino scenes. I love the cinematography. The rest of it just kind of falls apart. I will also say it's like 3rd or 4th best after the first one, Jurassic World. Maybe 2 or 3. I can't decide. I kind of like 3, but it's like right in the middle. It's mid. But I'll give it a 6 just because I like the way it looked. I like the way he shot this. But yeah, these movies, they're going to keep making them, and we're going to keep going seeing them. That's pretty much.
I think they should just abandon anything that to do with the first movies and just go with the whole dinosaurs on the world.
I would like to see one where there isn't an island.
Well, they did that, but then they immediately backed away from it.
Yes. What was it? That was like
that was supposed to be Dominion.
Mm.
I mean, remember remember that short film in between Fallen Kingdom and Dominion?
Where the drive-through and the fucking T-Rex
drive-through,
watching
yeah.
that. That's the movie I want to see.
Yeah, they teased that, and then they went, "Oh,
We're
no,
not doing
screw it. Actually, the dinosaurs are all now back in this like preserve, and this movie is going to be about locusts."
So I was just happy there was no fucking grasshoppers. There's no cloned kid of Dr. Hammond's pressing buttons. There's no auction.
That's the thing I was getting at is
dumb
like
shit.
when they start to think of like ways to expand the universe and think of ideas, they come up with things where you go, "Oh my god, don't stop thinking!"
Yeah, it goes
like,
off
what
the
are
rails.
you doing?
It goes off the rails instantly.
Well, like I like the idea that they were trying to train dinosaurs, even though you can't.
The Wrangler, you like Chris Pratt as the dinosaur Wrangler?
No, but I'm like, I could see somebody trying to do that, and failing,
getting eaten right away.
But that's you don't ever want to have a successful training of the dinosaur. But that could be a movie of itself. Like they want to train the dinosaurs and they can't, and they just fucking kill everybody. That's what should happen.
Yes, more people getting eaten. Really, and this movie it has a plot, but it doesn't really matter. There's no plot. You don't need a plot. I just want to see dinosaurs eat fucking people.
And I want to see dinosaurs get their brains blown out too.
Yes.
Like, why aren't people carrying like giant guns,
rocket launchers and shit?
Not even a rocket launcher, just a high caliber, like, pistol that could just like open one of these things up.
Armor piercing shells.
Let's do it.
Boom.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, we're
make it fun.
Make it fun. Make it true. Another Jurassic
World
not movie
family entertainment then
is here. Let's do some news from the nation. Find out what our listeners thought.
It's time for news from the nation. It's time for news from the nation.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
That sounded like one of those F1 cars getting ready.
Oh, yeah.
Off the fucking pole position. Keegan Martin checking in. He said, this is all about Jurassic Park Rebirth. He says, was good as Jurassic Park 3, maybe. JP3 was sci-fi channel quality. This movie reminded me a lot of Jurassic Park 3. Maybe because they were just making up
very similar.
Very similar.
Well, they weren't making up the script. It's the script was set. It's just the fact that they find a way. It's more of an adventure movie.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, it's not all convoluted and shit. That should have worked better. Jamie Robinson says there were too many side stories and character backgrounds. Zora had just lost a team member on her last mission. Is she ready to move forward without taking time to grieve? Kincaid lost his kid and also his marriage. He's not losing another child. Ruben is losing his daughter to college and is trying to hold on to his family, even though his ex-wife probably is against it. Too many side quests for a dinosaur movie. Oh, and if you eat a Snickers, throw your wrapper in the trash.
None of those things is ever really explored enough to actually make an impact on the movie.
No, and not only that, the father...
Like throwaway lines.
The father comes around and he's like, oh, you know what? You're okay, kid, to the boyfriend because he saved her that one time. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Did you notice that boyfriend and the girlfriend barely even exchange lines? I think just one time they talk to each other. The rest of the
it is very odd.
It's very odd. The rest of the time, she's doing shit and he's doing shit. And the backstory for those characters, not necessary. It has nothing to do with the thing. I don't need to know this. And then finally, Scott Beck writes, one of the worst movies I have ever seen in theaters. These keep getting worse. Jurassic Park is my favorite film of all time. Saw it as a 3-year-old around the time it came out on VHS in 1993, 1994. I'll never forget watching it for the first time in my basement. Pitch black with our surround sounds ignited. Can't wait to show my future children the original and none of these Jurassic World films. Saw a trailer for a new dino movie coming out this fall. Maybe they can do better than this franchise. Whoa, what is that movie? I do vaguely remember somebody else making a dinosaur movie. And I forgot to look that up. I'll have to investigate. But why doesn't somebody do a movie that's not Jurassic Park IP? Would that work? Somebody had a budget and just made a dinosaur film. It has nothing to do with Jurassic Park.
Well, how do you get the dinosaurs?
I don't know. That's for the.
Is it just about dinosaurs hanging out back in the Jurassic or Cretaceous period, or whatever the fuck period?
I mean, they kind of did that with that 65 movie with Adam Driver, but that was not good. Yeah, I don't know how you do it.
I don't think it was worse than this movie.
No, that's a good point.
No.
Also has a kid that he's got to
No.
save. All right. What are we watching, fellas? Lots of shit you guys were watching and posting.
I watched a lot of things. Yeah.
We're going to start with Anthony Alaho.
Sure.
Give us your rundown of your Alaho this week.
Yeah, so I was there 3 times this week.
All these have Patreon reviews on the Patreon, so
that's correct.
Yes.
So I did see Jurassic World, but earlier in the week I saw Frankenhooker.
Ruggs, you heard of this one? I feel like this is
I've
up your
heard. I
alley.
haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was part of their Killer Cuts series where they show old horror movies that have LGBTQ plus undertones. And this one was Frankenhooker from 1990. And it is about a husband and future wife. The wife gets torn up by a lawnmower. So he's a mad scientist and decides to recreate her in New York with the body parts of Manhattan prostitutes.
As you would.
Yeah. And it's a horror comedy. It is, this is a B movie to the max.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, this is a straight up B movie. Ruggs, you'd like it because there's lots of tits in this movie.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Titties everywhere. It's an oddball movie. I had a good time with it. I think it's fun. It's a twist on the classic Frankenstein's tale.
Yeah.
And I had a good time with it. So, and it has an ending that goes, oh, okay, like it's not. It ends in a way that you went, oh, like this character. This isn't a necessarily like a safe ending.
That's crazy. When are you going to watch Frankenhooker on a big screen? It's amazing.
Yeah, I once I saw the synopsis and saw it was in this big screen.
Does Frankenhooker have a penis?
No, this is a she.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the actress is really cute, really hot. I think she was the cover of Penthouse magazine at one point.
Ooh.
So yeah, it was
Patty Mullen. I don't know the Patty Mullen.
Yeah, she's or B movie. Like you got to go in and know this is like. If you go into this with any sort of fart sniffing critical eye, you're gonna not like it.
It's a B flick. Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, bad acting.
Yeah.
But entertaining.
But yeah,
now you gotta watch the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing. But those can be fun.
Yeah.
They can be very enjoyable.
Yeah, it was fun, and it was a good time, and I had a good time watching it. And before the movie, they have the curator of this series to come on and talk about like why he picked this movie and what kind of undertones he saw in it that were LGBTQ. So this was more like how a transvestite person would feel, or a trans person.
Sure.
It's transvestite. I don't even know if that's the correct term.
Transgender
person would feel of like not feeling like you're in your own body.
Right,
so
like you piece together from.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's that. So saw that, and then I saw a movie that has very limited release right now. It won the Sundance Music Festival. I think it was the best movie from Sundance. Sorry Baby, A24 film.
Yeah, I'm curious about this one.
This one I really liked. I thought this was a really good film. Eva Victor directed it. It's her directorial debut.
Wow, and she's in it too.
She's the lead in it.
Wow.
And basically the plot is this lady has gone through a traumatic event in her life and is coping with it throughout the movie, but it's a black comedy drama. So it's funny, like without really like, it's not a huge spoiler, but she basically gets sexually assaulted, but the movie's told in non-chronological order, and you deal with her coping through this, and she's very dry-witted. It's like very difficult subject matter that she makes funny.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's hard to do, and when that's done well. She wrote, directed, and starred in this. Who's this Eva Victor, man?
Yeah, she was great.
Keep
It
an
was a
eye
great
on
movie.
her.
I really liked it. I had a good time with it.
I heard Oscar buzz on this one already.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if enough people are going to see it. I think it's so small.
Nobody saw Nora. Nobody saw Nora.
Well, Nora made. Yeah, we'll see. I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. I had a great time with it. At times a bit heavy. The ending is like, oh damn. But really, really good stuff. Good. More of like not really like a through line narrative. More like you see her and throughout bits of her life and how she's coping with this and how this like trauma that she has never really goes away. It's just always going to be a part of her and how she's dealing with it. But it's entertaining because it's also funny at times. So
that's real cinema.
I had a good time with it.
It's real cinema.
Yeah, Alamo's made me go into the theaters and watch all sorts of different kinds of shit. I don't know that you need to go out of your way and watch it in the theater unless to like you want to support it.
I love that you're watching dumb shit like Jurassic World, and then you go see Sorry Baby, like completely.
Well, then I also saw Frankenhooker.
And then Frankenhooker, 3 completely different fucking genres.
Very different movies. Yeah.
Ruggs, what do you got?
Oh, I saw a bunch of shit. I watched a movie that I've been meaning to watch for a long time. I love all Guy Ritchie movies, even the bad ones. But when they have Jason Statham in it, you know it's going to be a good one. And I watched Ruse de Guerre, Operation Fortune Ruse de Guerre, which is a movie about 2 competing spy teams trying to pull off this thing. So I guess one branch of the government's got their one team, and then there's the other team, and they're constantly fucking with each other and ruining the other what they're trying to do.
Okay.
And so the whole gig is there's a billionaire, and they're trying to get into his inner circle to do the mission, and they're using a Trojan horse, which is Josh Hartnett, which is his favorite Hollywood actor. He's got like a crush on this guy. He really like wants to meet him. So they're like, oh, if we pretend to be his managers, maybe we can kind of loop into like his life and find out what we need to find out of what he's up to. And it's great. I really enjoyed it.
I've never even heard of this fucking movie.
I thought it was it's not a great movie, but I mean, it's better than it should be if you've never heard of it.
What's the movie called again?
It's called Operation Fortune
Ruse de Guerre.
Ruse de Guerre. It's got
it's Guy Ritchie, Jason Statham, Hugh Grant,
Aubrey Plaza,
Josh Hartnett, Carrie Elways, and I think the thing that really makes it work is this whole thing of these 2 competing teams trying to do this mission, and they're fucking with each other, and it's actually
like
quite
fun.
entertaining.
I might have to check this
It's
out.
fun. I can't say it's like, I mean, it's a 6.5 maybe or something, but like I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun for a direct to video. No one ever heard of it.
Comedy thriller. Yeah,
sure. Yeah. Then of course I watched Out for Justice.
Oh God, why are you watching Seagal
Now
movies?
listen, this is what happened to me. I got the rope-a-dope because I was listening to the Rewatchables.
Yeah.
And they had done this episode. And within 10 minutes of like the first 10 minutes of them talking about this movie, I had to stop the podcast and immediately put it on. I was like, I got to find this movie.
We might have
and
to review this movie. Okay, go on.
Because just I remember watching it and I just watched a Space Ice about it. Space Ice, where like he compares Jean-Claude Van Damme to Steven Seagal.
Right.
And he used that movie, and I was like, oh, this shit's funny. So I gotta fucking watch. And then I saw Rewatchables was doing a podcast, and I started listening, and I'm like, okay, I gotta just stop and watch this movie. And it's fucking batshit crazy. It is. There's a lot of actors in it that we know.
This was his first movie?
No, this was like his 4th, 5th movie.
Oh, okay.
But this was kind of like his Cobra, where like he was just unhinged and like arrogant and just running shit.
Yeah.
And he's pretending to be Italian, which is hilarious.
It's his 4th movie. Yeah. Gina Gershon is in it.
Gina Gershon's in it. So many people are in it. John Leguizamo is in it, but you barely see him.
Really?
He gets killed in like 2 seconds. Oh my God, you got to watch this movie. It's great. It's got some of the best lines.
Man, this could be our new hard target. We might have to review.
He says, this is one of the lines. Just to wet your palate a little bit. He says, hey, that girl over there with the nipples that look like they could dial a phone.
This is when we had rotary phones, people.
Here's another line.
Boop, boop, boop.
He's like, a girl goes, hey, do you want me to just like in the old days, give you a head and make you forget about it? He goes, you were never that good. I would not forget.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, great Steven Seagal movie. Terrible. I mean, it's so bad, but it's so hilariously bad that it's worth watching.
Yeah, it seems like it's a fun time.
Just watching him run.
Yeah.
Just watch him run.
He's the worst.
Watch him aim a gun with his eyes closed.
He's the
That's always
worst
great.
runner out of all of them. I always thought.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you limping?
He's the worst runner in the history of running.
He is. Yeah. I don't know.
I would, if you had a nice couple of hours to waste, I would Watch that and then immediately listen to the rewatchables on it. And then you will be, I was rolling around the floor laughing because they just picked out all of the moments that I love.
They're really good at, especially when they review those like shitty movies that people kind of like. They're really good at pointing out the flaws in the movie, but then also making it funny to go back and look at those movies.
Yeah, it really. I didn't want to listen to the rest of it without watching the movie because I was like, I want to see this movie now and like be able to laugh along with them.
Oh, that's great.
So, yeah, it was amazing. So it was a great time, and I'm still laughing about it to this moment. So yeah, that's what I watched.
There's also did you watch Squid Game 3 yet?
I did. I watched that.
Anthony, did you watch any of this yet?
I've only watched the first episode.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. Not next week, but the following week. We'll do Squid Game 3 because next week there's a big movie coming out.
Yeah.
But the following week there isn't. So that's where we'll slot it in. I might have to watch it again because I watched it right when it came out. Ruggs, yay or nay for the Squid Game 3? Just a quick, did you like it? Did you not like it?
I liked it.
Okay.
I think it could have been better, but I did like it.
Okay. I got two things I wanted to mention real quick. On the same day Jurassic World came out, Old Guard 2 came out on Netflix.
I watched that.
You watched that? Yeah. What did you think of this movie?
It didn't end.
I thought this movie was pretty terrible. And it was.
How do you end like that?
And it was boring.
There's going to be a third one.
It ends on a cliffhanger in the middle of the story, and they're assuming there's a third one. But I had to go back and watch the first one because I forgot fucking everything.
You cannot watch this movie without being fucking completely lost.
Correct. Unless you watch the first one again, because you can't watch this movie.
The first movie is so forgettable.
Yes. So I had to go back and remember Charlize Theron's character is not immortal anymore. There was a new immortal, and then there was that girl Quinn drowning over and over again.
And the whole like mysticalness of this and all the rules are so stupid, and they don't even like try and sell you on it. They're just like, okay, just roll with it.
There's
this is what we're
one
doing.
scene with Uma Thurman fighting her at the end, and she's just sprinkled in, and I was kind of bored with the movie. They tried to expand the lore and do a thing with this new immortal can actually stop people from being immortal, and she wants to kill all of them. Whatever.
Why is she mad at? Why is the girl that they got out of the water mad at Charlize Theron's character?
Because she didn't look for her for like 500 years. She did. She looked for her.
She did.
Yes.
Like, what do you want to do? Yeah. Like, she tried. She couldn't do it.
So you had to remember,
someone else got lucky.
You had to remember that dude Booker was exiled for 100 years, but he comes right back. It takes place 6 months after that movie. I was not good. I don't know what it's worse than the first one. And the first one is super forgettable. So
yeah,
just pass. And I don't know if they're going to make a third one. They're making it seem like they will,
shouldn't.
But they really shouldn't. And I think this is Greg Rucka's comic book, and he wrote these two. So I don't know what happened. He couldn't adapt his own shit.
Greg Rucka sucks.
Yeah, he could not adapt his own shit here. He was
involved.
A problem.
So what did Greg Rucka write? He didn't do like a Green Lantern or something?
Greg Rucka did, what was his thing, was known for Punisher, some Wonder Woman. I think I remember him off Punisher. I thought he was a good writer, and it's a different medium, you know? It's just a different medium.
Punisher is an easy character, right?
Yes. So you can
Heart of Stone, that's a terrible movie.
You can skip that one, and then I checked out that movie Heads of State on Amazon Prime. Did you guys hear of this one at all?
No, it's a comedy.
It's a comedy, buddy comedy action starring John Cena, Idris Elba, and Priyanka Chopra Jonas. Paddy Considine also in this as the bad guy. It's a ridiculous premise. John Cena is the president of the United States, but he's also a working action movie star, like making movies. So it's kind of like if Arnold was American and became president. And then Idris Elba is the UK prime minister, and somebody's trying to kill them both. Air Force One goes down. Priyanka Chopra Jonas, who is smoking hot, very sexy, handles the action very well. She plays like an MI5 agent that has a past with Idris Elba. And it's a wacky tone. It's directed by Ilya Naishuller, who did Hardcore Henry and the first Nobody. So it's got a little bit of a style personality. And you know what? I thought it was kind of funny. I like John Cena, his chemistry with...
Is it action-packed?
There's a lot of action scenes. It's crazy because there's big stakes, planes going down, global threat, terrorism. And then there's like jokes in there. And it kind of works. It's kind of tonally a little bit here and there, but mostly works. I thought the action was pretty good. Their chemistry was good. There's a great plane scene in the Air Force One, and some of the other, it's fine for like a Prime movie to have a good time. It sounds like it's as good as that.
It's just so funny because
Operation
I immediately
14.
saw that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to watch that. And then Imran watches it.
Yeah, I had to. I was like, let me check this out, and it's all right. It's all right. It's kind of funny. All right. Well, this week, big week, everyone. It's Superman week. Out this week.
Yeah.
This is your mission, Superman. July 11th. Now, there are screenings being held tomorrow on the 8th. So, and social media reactions actually are out now. The review embargo lifts tomorrow. So, by the time you hear this, the review embargo will be lifted. There should be Rotten Tomatoes score. Have you followed any of these early reviews that have been breaking the embargo?
No.
It's all over the place. Like, I've seen, there was a fan screening, and of course, Superman fans, they all loved it. But then I've heard other people saying it's a mess, and other people saying it's really good. Fucking crazy, mixed reactions. Again, the conservative studio opening estimate for this movie, 90 to 120 million opening. The high end estimate, this other tracking place, 125 to 145 million. High end. I feel like it may open better than Jurassic World. But this is it's a big one.
I hope that it opens bigger than Jurassic World, but I think it should. I think there's more hype around that movie.
We're on Superman. Yeah, they had the red carpet world premiere just tonight. I was watching a little bit of it before.
But before we go, I want to mention a movie I did see that we didn't talk about.
Okay.
I don't know why you didn't post it into the notes. I don't know if you posted it into the
Which one?
In the Patreon. I saw F1.
Oh, I did. I did put that on the Patreon. Yes, we reviewed it last week. Yes, tell me what'd you think?
You reviewed it last week?
Yes,
we did. Yeah, but I want to hear your thoughts.
Did you like it?
Yeah, we liked it.
We thought it was fun.
I fucking did not want to go to the movies that day.
Yeah.
I was so tired and I was on the verge of like falling asleep on the couch, and I made myself go to the movies.
Yeah.
And the minute that thing started, I was awake.
Oh, fucking!
And I had just
woke you up.
got a shot of adrenaline, and it didn't let up for the whole entire movie.
Nice.
And I watched it in IMAX with like the best sound ever.
Yeah.
And it really, yes, it is a very predictable movie. It is a total formulaic movie.
It's in
about
the title.
a
Formula One. It's formulaic.
yeah. But that does not stop the fact that it was expertly done, beautifully directed. The sound design was kick-ass.
Yeah.
The characters were fun to get to know. And I like that movie a lot.
Nice.
Wow, I'm glad you liked it. I didn't know where you were going with while you were asking us, but I also we both saw. I mean, there was flaws in it, but we both really enjoyed it. So
it's a very predictable thing you're getting.
Yeah,
you're getting
cliche sports movie.
Yeah,
you're getting a cliche movie about an underdog team that needs to rise to the occasion.
You know what? The old dude wins. The old dude beats the young whippersnapper. That's why
they made it. They made it like really well.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess they just. You're not going to make the one of these movies again and do it like a weak sauce. They put everything into it.
Yeah.
They tried to make it as good as they could,
as realistic,
a movie about racing,
authentic.
Yeah,
I mean, they were embedded.
I felt like I was in the car.
That's all I wanted, right? I just like Top Gun Maverick. I wanted to feel like I was in the car going 200 miles an hour, and you feel that. You absolutely feel that. Like he achieved it.
And the music and the music, the pulse pounding,
the engine
thing.
sounds.
I was like, my adrenaline was pumping.
What would you give it? And what score would you give it?
Oh, I would give it a 7.5 or an 8 easy.
Okay, yeah, I think we both gave it 8s.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Brad Pitt, and I mean it's cliche, it's old school like guy movie, sports
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
He gets the girl, like everything you want. Out
But
of,
like my expectations were exceeded.
yeah,
All right.
Wow.
I went in with expectations and I was like, oh, it's going to be a racing movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is a fucking good racing
Yeah.
movie. It's what's the movie going to be about? It's going to be about winning a race. Like, I mean, it's not
He's going to win.
rocket science.
Yeah, they're going to win at the end. They win those 9 races.
yeah, but it's so expertly crafted.
Groundbreaking cinematography. I think the best
Like, they
racing
threw some
has ever
stuff
been
in
filmed.
there, like he cheated a little bit
Yeah,
to win a couple times.
Yeah, he would have been thrown out right away, but it's
Yeah,
fine.
like he did some things that were like
This movie got me all into like learning more about F1. I watched this documentary about Senna. I'm watching the show Senna on Netflix about this Brazilian racer in the 80s and 90s.
Drive to Survive.
And then there's 7 seasons of that fucking show is the problem. But
that has never stopped you from watching things.
I may just throw the first one on and see where it goes. But the Senna is only like 6 episodes, and I just got fascinated. It was fucking great.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's a good
summer.
I'm glad you
blockbuster.
liked the F1 movie because I have it ranked up there. I think it's like my second or third favorite movie of the year.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite movies I've seen in a while.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Like, where I was very like surprised that because if I go into a movie and it sucks and I'm tired, I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
I'm fighting to stay awake.
You're
I'm
mad.
like, you have to really be able to manipulate my inner hormones, to wake
The
up.
fact that it woke you up says everything about kind of the adrenaline rush of these scenes. I can't wait for F1-2 or F2. I know they're making a sequel. I want to see Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt in a racing movie.
Race each other.
Yeah. Well, Tom Cruise's character from Days of Thunder meets Brad Pitt. They used to know each other.
I mean, they're gonna do this recipe now all the time.
How good did he look,
comes in.
dude? His fucking 60s Brad Pitt, motherfucker.
Hey, man. Yeah, he looks great.
Yeah. Hate him.
I like how the mother thought he was attractive.
Yeah.
He's like, he's not that bad looking. He's not that old.
F1, good stuff. Good summer movies so far. I mean, maybe aside from 1 or 2, it's been quite a run this year.
I was tempted to go see Megan 2.0.
I kind of want to see 28 years later because I heard it has a crazy ending, and I need to see what this ending.
have you seen the other 2 before it?
I have a long time ago. I'm not going to rewatch those, but I have seen those. But I've heard, I mean, it's Danny Boyle, Alex Garland. Like, I feel like it's going to be good, and the ending is kind of crazy. But anyways, that's it for this week, everybody. Rugs, where can the people find you online?
Rug Boy Show on X.
Anthony, you get to see they're playing it at the Alamo there, Superman's.
They are, and they're doing a special menu too for it. So
Oh, get the macaroni, whatever it is, super macaroni.
I don't remember what they're. I think they're doing a wrap and some other stuff. So
I
we'll
love
see.
the theme menus they do. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have this James Gunn make or break his DC studios. We'll find out next week. Can't wait. In the meantime, listener, check out our website, jockandnerd.com. It has links on how to join our Patreon fan club, how to support, how to get in touch. Share this show. Tell a friend. We would appreciate it. Thank you for listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's a nerd.
We'll peep you next time.
I fucking loved it.
This is crazy. And sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Thing I offered you a chance to be a cop, and you blew it.